Join me today as we talk about the splashdown with the astronauts, Teslas that are on fire, is a Ripple case over, and Senator Schumer, he's talking crazy right now. Stick around. You just might learn something. Welcome to the Eric T Conversation. I'm Eric T. Well, today I went to one of these stretch places, and I'm going to tell you why. I got some discount on Facebook or something like that about a new place that opened up, and you get a free 15 minutes of a stretch. Now, I don't stretch. I lift a lot, but I don't stretch. And I don't stretch because it hurts. So it hurts when I stretch, so I don't stretch. And it hurts when I stretch because I don't stretch. It's like a catch-22 with me. So I had an appointment. I went to one of these places to go get stretched. I don't know if you've ever been to one of these places. There are places that exist that will just stretch you. That's it. Their job is to stretch you, because we as Americans have gotten to the point where I'm not doing that shit. I'd rather pay somebody to stretch me out 3 days a week. So I go to this place. I'm not going to name the one it was, but I go to it. It's a new one that opened up in town. And, so they go make you fill out all this information, 3 or 4 pages worth of stuff, telling them all the ailments on my body. Says, all right, we're going to, work on the hamstrings a little bit, kind of loosen you up. So they put me in this table and they strap you in. Okay. They put it like they crank you down and they strap you in this thing. And then the dude proceeds to stretch my hamstrings or whatever. It hurt like hell. I was like moaning and groaning like a little bitch in it because it hurt so bad. Why? Because I don't stretch. So when he got all done, he was like, do you feel better? I said, yeah, I felt a little bit better. And he said, well, why don't I work up a little plan for you, and maybe we can see what you want to do, and you want to come back, and maybe we can continue this. Because, of course, like anything else, you got to do it several times. Just like the chiropractor. You got to do it several times till you start reaping some benefits of it. So he gives me a write-up, and check this out. It was about $425 to come in there 3 days a week to get stretched. My mouth almost fell out of my face. I'm like, $425 to come in here for 20-minute sessions 3 days a week. That's what you want me to pay? So you want me to pay like $1,700 a month to come here and get stretched, doing something I can clearly do myself at my house, get some of those rubber bands, right? Put them onto the doorknob and start stretching. I would pay one of my kids to come over and push me over for a little bit. I mean, that was insane price. I was like, okay, I'll let you know, but I don't think I'm going to be back. Not for $425 a month. He goes, well, we can rearrange it a little bit for you. We can get some different plans that better suit you. And I was like, no, I don't think I'm coming back, man. $425, that's like a small mortgage payment. If you do one of these stretch zones, enjoy it. I hope you enjoy going. I hope it's good for you, but it isn't good for me. The price is too high. And again, it hurt like hell. Well, that's my observation today. Now for the conversation. So there's a huge problem right now with Tesla dealerships getting lit on fire. Cars are getting damaged. Even people that own Teslas are getting their cars vandalized because of Elon Musk, because he is helping our government find ways. Do you know how silly that is? That people are vandalizing an eco-friendly vehicle, car dealership, because you're pissed. He's saving your tax dollars from being wasted by our government. Can you wrap your head around that? Because I really can't wrap my head around that. He was loved just a few years ago. The guy is an environmentalist. He thinks we should, save the earth and do all that stuff. He created fully American car manufacturer. And he created a great car. A lot of people love it. It's a total 100% electric vehicle. And he's extremely successful with this company. But people are idiots, and they're lighting his dealerships on fire because you don't like him saving your tax dollars. I feel bad for the guy. He knew he was going to get some flack, but I don't think he knew he was going to get his cars burnt over. His people that own vehicles are getting them vandalized. There was a guy I saw today had a Cybertruck. It was spray painted all over it. Had, the bad German symbol on it. Had a bunch of hateful remarks on his Tesla. It needs to stop, people. You're being insane just because you don't like somebody. The tolerant left continually has to do that. I just disagree with that wholeheartedly because you don't like some things about the administration, what Elon Musk is doing. The guy just saved our astronauts that were stuck in outer space for 10 months because they got left there by the previous administration. And you can say whatever you want. I know I did a video on it the other day, and there was a lot of technical issues with the spacecraft. There was a spacecraft that was still there. They couldn't bring it back. But Elon Musk and the astronauts both said the reason why they weren't allowed to come back is because it didn't politically look beneficial for the previous administration. So that's what happened. And they just landed in the Gulf of America yesterday. I think that was spectacular. They came back, beautiful scenery. Some dolphins were swimming around them, keeping them company while they got rescued by the barge that comes over there and pulls the orbiter out of there. He did that because he wanted to save these people and bring them back home to their families because they were left there. But yet the left continually wants to vandalize this poor guy's dealership. And for the people that are doing that out there, you got to remember, Tesla vehicles have cameras all over them, all over them. So they're getting recorded on video, and they're going to come at you and they're going to prosecute you. So be a little bit better than that. This guy did nothing to you, but just saving your tax dollars. Senator Schumer was on The View today, and he was talking about businesses that are complaining because, oh, how dare the government come in here and tell me how to run my business? How dare they tell me how to pay my employees? How dare they tell me how to operate my business? And he was bragging about it, having the government interfere in all that. That's the problem. He's a poster child for why we don't want the government in our business. I own a small business, and I don't want the government all up in my stuff. You know what? There's some things that the government has to do. You want to treat your employees well. That's great and all. But you shouldn't be able to dictate how I run my business. It is my business. Small businesses are the backbone of the United States of America. We employ mostly all the employees out there, small businesses. I'm not talking about the multi-billion-dollar corporations. I'm talking about small businesses, 100 employees, 400 employees, 50 employees, 20 employees. Those are small businesses, and they make America go around because they have most of the employees. And he's telling us that he wants to dictate to us that the government needs to interfere with all that. And that's the problem with these politicians. These old guys that have been there for 30 years, they are completely out of touch with reality. And that's the reason why the Democrats have a 27% approval rating. Trump had a call yesterday with Putin and apparently went very well. They're not going to agree to a complete ceasefire, but he's going to back up on some things about the operations over there and kind of release fuel and energy and kind of stop ceasefire on those types of targets. That was a good thing. Then he talked to Zelensky today for about an hour, and he said it went really well. Trump is like a mediator right now. He's talking to one side, going back over here, talking to the other side, and trying to make a deal with these guys so we can have a peace treaty between both nations. And I think that's very important to do that because right now it's chaotic. You got Zelensky backing out of what he decided to do because he wants to get paid now, and that's insane. You got Putin over there. He kind of wants the areas that he's already occupied to stay with Russia. So we'll see how that unfolds over the next couple of weeks. But right now we got some good progress going on. And, you know, Putin talking to Trump yesterday, I think Biden's never spoken to Putin in the 4 years he was in office. So that's a huge win for the United States. And hopefully Putin can agree to some of the terms and both sides can start having some peace treaties drawn up and the war can end in about the next 30 days or so. So that was great. Carolyn Leavitt, the White House press secretary, has just come out and says 60% of all the injunctions that the federal judges have issued have been against President Trump. And 92% of those have come from Democratic partisan justices. Now, what I mean by partisan, I don't just mean these guys are just, you know, they're Democrats. They're heavily Democrats. Their daughters are having Facebook pages. Their kids are raising money. Their wives are part of the affiliated for a Democratic organization that are doing fundraising, works for different organizations. That's not a bipartisan type of judge. These are judges that are strictly Democrat. They were appointed by a Democrat president, and they are doing the bidding of the Democrats right now. So everything that Trump is trying to do is getting stopped by a lower level district federal judge. This stuff's going to go all the way to the Supreme Court. And most likely the Supreme Court is going to do the right thing and follow the actual Constitution. But this is a little crazy. Everything he does. So you mean if we have to go to war and we got to drop some, you know, missiles or whatever on somebody, we're going to have a lower court district judge say, no, you can't do that. That's not how it works. Separate powers, right? Executive, legislative, and judicial. And these guys are trying to run our country and trying to be the president of the United States from the bench. And that is not what our Constitution is all about. And the biggest news today for me is that Ripple is no longer in a court battle with the SEC. That's right. The SEC has walked away and dropped the case against Ripple. And that makes me a very happy dude because, as you all know, I am heavily into XRP, and that is the native cryptocurrency that is affiliated with Ripple. So what does that mean? That means today was a very green day. That XRP went up about 10% or so within the first hour or two, and it backed up. It went up about 10% just today. But I need to let everybody understand, this is not the end-all, be-all. Brad Garlinghouse was on some news organizations earlier this morning, and he was talking about the whole case, that it's over and done with, that they have $125 million in escrow, so they don't know if they're going to get that money back, or maybe they'll donate it in XRP to the crypto reserve, right? That sounds like a pretty cool idea. But there's also some other things that they want. They may seek some damages, or he may just walk away from the whole thing, shut the door, and move on. So before everybody starts getting excited, and maybe not too excited because the price didn't go to $10 relatively quickly, we still need to have regulation with cryptocurrencies. And those regulations should be coming around in August. So yes, the price bumped. Today was a very green day for cryptocurrencies. And I told you on my video last week that once that case is over, you're going to see a lot of green coming, and crypto is going to start moving, and it's going to continue to start moving. Remember, this is all retail traders. So when you see the price go to $2.60 and it comes back down to $2.50, that's all retail trading guys. Guys that are sitting with 3 computers in front of their face, 3 monitors, and they're watching green and red candles go up and down, and they're just taking profits. Those are retail traders. The banks are not in yet. The banks are coming. They're already in, but they're going to really start coming in. And the ETFs are going to start getting filed, even more of them that they have now. Right now, there's 18 of them with XRP. We're going to hopefully that 19th one by BlackRock. So the ETFs are going to start filing in. In August, once we actually get crypto regulation and banks know what the rules are with cryptocurrencies, you're going to see a flood of money coming in. Still a good time to buy, but it's great news. Probably the best news in crypto since Trump decided to come up with a strategic Bitcoin reserve and then another reserve for other cryptocurrencies. So this is great news. I'm very excited about that. I hope you are too. So that's it for today. Join me next time for a little chit chat, some observation, and some good old fashioned conversation. Like, subscribe, tell a friend. I really appreciate it. Thanks.